The Office, the American mockumentary sitcom, based on the English mockumentary of the same name, ran from 2005 to 2013, lasting a total of 9 seasons. During my self-isolation at home because of the current world coronavirus outbreak, I've been rewatching The Office and find that it still holds up as one of the best modern sitcoms on television, with great writing, an effective range of characters and great visual comedy using the mockumentary format to its advantage. However, as I reached the end of season 7, I found myself becoming increasingly annoyed by a certain insufferable new character. Now, there are a lot of options on the Reddit page about the worst character in The Office. Some say Nelly, some argue Robert California, and others dislike more primary characters like Gabe. And while there are solid cases against all these characters, in my opinion none are worse than the abomination that was Deangelo Vickers. Today's video is a bit different from some of my other content. I want to make a case for why Deangelo is the worst character ever added to The Office. Welcome to the film essay. To understand why Deangelo is so bad, it's necessary to look into how the show was written.
There were a lot of metaphors we used for The Office, and the visual metaphor that Greg gave us for the show at large was like a paved over, concrete, sort of boring looking and like office parking lot with one little kind of flower peeking up through a crack in the pavement. And his point was like, this is a satire about the modern world of parking lots and office parks and fluorescent lights and drop ceilings. But like the soul of the show was that little flower that somehow has found its way, that little tiny bit of brightness that has found its way through a crack in this very sort of paved over universe, right? And that was a very powerful metaphor. I think about that all the time.
The Office was always a show that didn't shy away from the monotony and repetitiveness of the modern workplace. Yet, beneath the surface, it was a show with a big heart, about the characters and the relationships between them. None of these characters were more important than Michael. Michael was undoubtedly the protagonist of the show, with the most screen time and the most one-on-one interviews with the camera. In Garage Sale, the 19th episode of season 7, we find out that our protagonist is leaving the show. In a lot of ways, this is a great thing. It represents the end of Michael Scott's character arc, showcasing how he has matured over the years and finally finding the one that he has been searching for. However, episode 19 is quite a late moment in the season to discover that the protagonist is leaving. It's sad to lose Michael, only having 3 more episodes with his presence before he leaves. To introduce Deangelo Vickers at this moment was a huge oversight. In Michael's final episodes, as a viewer and a fan, I want to watch him interact with the characters he's interacted with throughout the show. I want to see Michael and Dwight, Michael and Jim, Michael and Ryan. But over his 3 final episodes, Training Day, Michael's Last Dundies and Goodbye Michael, Michael spends by far the most time with a new, loud, obnoxious and irritating character. The season 2 episode The Dundies is a huge fan favourite, and so having Michael's penultimate episode being his final Dundee performance was a great way for him to say goodbye to The Office. But the episode is less about Michael and the fact it's his last Dundies than it is about training Deangelo's inability to tell jokes on stage, and how inappropriate Deangelo is. To be clear, this is less of a problem with the character of Deangelo itself than it is a problem with the timing. Any new character who takes up this much screen time in the final 3 episodes with Michael is a bad addition, because sitcom fan bases don't like change, and this change is too much, too fast. Would it really have been so difficult to give Dwight, Andy or Jim the interim manager role after Michael's exit? Ultimately, this is what happens anyway, and it would have meant Michael's final few episodes could have been without Deangelo's annoying, screen-hogging presence. Perhaps nothing makes my point better than the heartwarming moment the Dunder Mifflin employees sing a song in the break room to thank Michael and say goodbye to him. This is a really touching moment. Michael has always insisted they are a family, and it's nice to see this repaid by the employees. Michael has tears in his eyes, and we see how much this means to him. And then Deangelo starts to sing. And not in a quiet, respectful or reserved way. He takes it upon himself to start singing a loud, dominating, loathsome harmony that's completely out of tune. Just shut up. Maybe it's just me, but it's not about this new character. Deangelo has known Michael 2 days. This is a heartfelt moment between a boss and his employees who have known each other over 15 years in the show. Why is this loud buffoon ruining the moment? And why did the writers think this would be a good thing? Now, I know I said the problems with Deangelo aren't the fault of the character itself. Well, I partly misspoke. Will Ferrell is categorically the wrong type of actor for a show like The Office. Now, I'm not saying Will Ferrell doesn't have an important role to play in comedy. He very much does. He's one of the most well-known and iconic comedy movie actors in the world. But he dominates films. This is fine in over-the-top roles like Anchorman or Step Brothers, where being brash and the centre of attention is the point of the role and the source of the comedy. But The Office is a different kind of show. It's understated, it's subtle, the jokes are not loud or in your face. So much of the humour thus far has been little looks characters give the camera, or a poor choice of words in a business meeting. Will Ferrell's tone is completely wrong. It even looks like some of the other actors struggle to respond to his style of acting. He's so over the top that he dominates the scene. There isn't time for the subtle humour of Jim, Dwight or Michael. It's the Will Ferrell show from the second he enters to the moment he leaves. I have a theory that he was actually meant to replace Michael, but that they killed him off after a few episodes because it just wasn't working. I actually feel sorry for Jenna Fisher in her scenes with him. She looks unable to figure out how to respond to his unpredictable nature. I know I'm massively overanalyzing this, but as a fan of the show, it pains me that in Michael's final episodes I spend much of my time being annoyed by Deangelo, rather than saying goodbye to the character of Michael. Maybe it's just me, but let me know what you thought of Deangelo in the comments below. Thank you for watching, please subscribe for more content.